Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Sacred Kismet. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. And welcome to Sunday's Medicine, which is a little series, I guess, that I have started unintentionally by simply kind of just inviting you guys into my practice of coming back home to self. And today looks like another bath, which every Sunday is a bath, but sometimes it's morning, sometimes it's night. It kind of depends what I feel like I need in that moment. And baths are very sacred to me. It is like a space of solitude and just feeling well held and comfortable to sit in my emotions and my thoughts and allow them to flow. So today's video is going to be titled Forgiveness, and I guess that is also a part of this little series of relationships and trying to find our harmony within them. So this morning I was sitting here in the bathtub and I was just thinking about forgiveness and why it seems to be so difficult to find forgiveness for those we love. I do think it is a difficult thing to do because of the resonance with not being conscious, of not wanting to honor the dark aspects, but also like the unconsciousness that we all fall into quite often. And are we aware of our unconsciousness? So I think if we can sit in that awareness, then we could maybe have a little more grace and compassion for when others are also in the state of unconsciousness. Because I think to disregard, not consider, or cause someone pain, you kind of have to be in a state of unconsciousness. And I think for the most of us who are just coming into a thriving energy and not necessarily being so in survival mode, is now coming to a place of conscious awareness. Because when we're in survival mode, that is at the forefront of our minds of how to survive. And so if that is our priority, then the things that would help us thrive and help us feel more loved or adorned and cared for kind of fall to the wayside. So I think to find forgiveness for ourselves or others is to forgive unconsciousness. It's kind of like, have you ever been driving and you come into the awareness of like you've just been kind of driving on autopilot and you notice, I don't remember making that left turn or getting over 2 or 3 lanes or getting off the freeway ramp, and you are still on the path or driving to your destination. It's kind of like that, of like we can be an autopilot sometimes, and that is where we mishandle the things that we actually care about, the people that we actually care about, through that state of unconsciousness. And so I think it's a very human thing to constantly fall into that state, because that is, I believe, part of just the human experience, why we are here, and the journey of coming back home to self is to come back into that conscious awareness that we are a soul living a human experience, and to be aware of it. But how much of our lives go without that awareness? And that's how we kind of get into places where we have friction and conflict within relationships. And it just brings me back to, if we can find it in our hearts to see ourselves in others, of being able to see and admit when we have also fallen out of conscious awareness. That's truly the thing that we're forgiving. And I know how hard that could be, depending on how heinous or painful the thing is that we are looking to forgive someone for. But I think if we could focus on them not being consciously aware, and not to say they didn't know any better or they should not have done said things, but there's a lot that can surpass our morality if we are not conscious of it. And so the true forgiveness is the familiarity of falling out of conscious awareness. And I think that is a start to truly forgiving someone. I feel like if we could just start there, of, okay, maybe that person wasn't conscious of their love for me. Maybe that person wasn't conscious of how it would pain or hurt me. Maybe that person wasn't conscious of how it would hurt themselves. Then that can open the window for the forgiveness of the actual violation to come in, and start to fill that space with compassion. And this is not to say we all have to forgive and forget and be in relationship with that person, but I do think it opens the space so that our hearts aren't hardened by those type of violations or the disconnect within that relationship, that you can forgive and let it go and allow space for something else to come in, whether that be a new person, a new relationship, a renewal even in that relationship. It just opens the space for love to flow. And however that may flow is okay. But when there's so much animosity and resentment taking that space, then it's also like blocking us from our blessings, blocking us from experiencing greater expressions of love. And I think in that way, we are also self harming through unforgiveness. And who wants that? Right? So, yeah, I think that's just something that kind of wanted to flow through me of like, how can I be more forgiving? How can I be more compassionate? How can I have more grace for myself and for others? And allowing that to also be how I invite love back in through forgiveness. All right, y'all. I don't want to make this too long. Something to sit with today, to journal about. And I pray that it also brings you back into conscious awareness of forgiveness and seeing yourself in someone else, seeing someone else's light or godliness, while also holding that they are still human and having a human experience and coming back home to self and having to remember and honor divinity. All right, y'all. Happy Sunday. Happy Sacred Sunday. May you be blessed. Bye, y'all.